Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch channel on YouTube, also at overwatchproject.com. Check out my website. I'm working on maybe doing a podcast with Spreaker.com, so stay tuned for that. I haven't finalized all the details of how I'm going to do that. But don't worry, it'll be automatically uploaded to my YouTube channel if I do that. So it'll just be more talking, less visual. Anyway, real quick. So I wanted to go into Robert Monroe's Loosh account a little bit more in depth and come up with a whole different take on it. So I did a video recently where I was talking about, I was wondering if if some people didn't have souls or spirits, because they're so mindless and so rigid, and some people just can't seem to reason outside of almost like an algorithm. So I remember some of the stuff I read in Far Journeys, and I wanted to reread it. Now with OBE phenomena, I was really resistant in accepting it at first, but there's so much consistency with so many different authors and so many different people that say they have had the experience that it's kind of like the UFO phenomena, kind of like when John Mack, the Harvard psychiatrist or psychologist, looked at the phenomena as a skeptic, but then became a believer because of his training in psychology and his analysis on people. As I'm listening to all these people, they seem credible to me. They seem to have a very consistent account of the phenomena, which is very similar to the near-death experience phenomena, but obviously has less verifiable data. The NDE is loaded with verifiable data. That's how you know that that's really happening. But the Robert Monroe, so he goes through this whole creation of basically the Earth, and how humanity was created, because we human forms, consciousness put into human form, produces this distilled Louch, which inadvertently Monroe is sort of describing the whole concept of the parasite reality, the matrix reality, or the way the Gnostics saw things, with the demiurge possibly being the someone who makes the universe. And I want to change what I said before. I don't think that consciousness, I don't think you could be anything be alive without some kind of soul, spirit, consciousness, energy. So I'm rereading his book, and I realized something that I sort of glossed over the first time, that kind of answers the question of why some people seem so different, or some people don't resonate with others, and some people do seem mindless. And then it occurred to me that some people just may be of a different source of consciousness. So you have the original creation of the earth, the original creation of design of the earth, the design of the whole universe, by the someone, and he talks about a garden, like almost like a visual that he's giving you in the book. But I think that it really refers to the whole material time-space illusion universe that we perceive from our human forms. So as he's describing this, he's also, in before the Louch account and after, he has made a friend in his OBE travels that he calls BB, which is an entity from another realm that had no knowledge of humanity and doesn't know what it's like to be human, doesn't even understand the concept of male-female. This entity, BB, had another friend with him that Monroe called AA. Monroe uses a lot of these neutral terms when he's describing things. He doesn't want to get bogged down into people thinking he was a spiritualist or anything like that. He tries to use neutral, objective terms. So he uses these kind of code nicknames for everything. So AA, friend of BB, gets caught up in the attraction or the seduction of the M-band noise, something that Monroe described as N-band noise. That's like mental bandwidth noise emanating from humanity, from Earth, from all the mind activity down here. And this is like a siren call, it seems like. Very attractive, very seductive. And eventually AA decides to incarnate here. What's fascinating is Monroe describes a kind of a gatekeeper or a gatekeeping system where you have to agree to the risks before you can do it. And apparently it's explained to you in Monroe describes the exchange of information between entities in his book as coming from a rote or a thought bundle. So you get sent information, then you process it, and then you can send information back. There's no verbal communication, obviously. Consciousness without a body doesn't need to speak in words, and communication is much more expansive and thorough. And if I could only express to you the information I have to share with you without having to use words, which I struggle with to articulate things well. So forgive me if I go on too long. Anyway, the whole thing is that it occurred to me that some people some incarnations as humans are from places that get pulled here. Spirits, entities, they get pulled here. And when you look at the whole Gnostic concept, when you look at some of the stuff that's in Tibetan Book of the Dead, it sort of describes that some of us want to go home. Monroe felt that he had some home to return to. NDE people and near-death experiencers, they somehow report a vague returning of memory after when they're in the NDE state, and they have this memory of a home they have to go back to. But if that home isn't here, then where is it? Why or were they here? Maybe they get caught up in this M-band noise. Maybe I'm one of these. Okay. Now this would mean, if you take Monroe's work at face value, and you read what he's writing there, you have the creation of Earth, the whole material universe, and then humanity eventually as one of the versions, which is fascinating, because I've always felt, after looking at the arguments between the creationists and the evolutionists, that both of these sides were so wrong, okay, and that the real stuff that you see here in the archaeological record looks more like versioning. Like you design something, oh no, I could do better. Just like when you're making an app on a computer, that you have version alpha, beta, and then you have version 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 2.0, and that's how things look when you're looking at the record here. So here you have a description of this someone that going through versioning of life here in this time-space illusion to create consciousness, or to create life that apparently consciousness is implanted into, so that the consciousness can be limited and can be in conflict. That's really what's being described. Even though Monroe doesn't even, I don't think Monroe realized, which makes it even more valuable. He did not know that he was describing that. He was troubled by the whole Louch creation thing, but he didn't realize, what else it implied with his story. I don't think Monroe ever knew about Gnostic concepts or the demiurge archons or the matrix reality, parasitic stuff. Anyway, just in case you're thinking, well, how could someone design an entire universe like this? I just want you to point out a game I play on PlayStation. This is a game called No Man's Sky. It's not a shoot 'em up game, but it is a kind of an exploration puzzle game. And this game takes up only 6 gigs on my PlayStation, but you can explore a universe with over 18 quintillion planets. Gamers will complain that in order to explore everything in this game, it would take 5 billion years. Now, it only took a few years to develop this game, and a very small amount of people, I think only 2 or 3 people actually worked on it, and it's all code. And in fact, science today is starting to say our universe looks like a simulation, right? Why was it created? It was created because of this, according to Monroe anyway, for Loosh production. Excuse me, I'm going to silence my phone so we don't get interrupted anymore. Anyway, the whole concept is fascinating, but that would mean that there is a default class of human consciousness. that may still be reincarnating here. And then there's a consciousness from other places that come by here or gets tuned in to the M-band noise, gets drawn here and agrees. And I think AA, I think what happens is what Monroe described is that the entity AA gets so caught up in trying to rush to experience this human existence that once AA wanted to do it so bad, didn't really take the time to understand the risks. Who knows? Maybe that happened to a lot of people. There's a lot of humans here right now, 7 billion, okay, plus, right? So perhaps we are, some of us, from places that we want to get back to. When we tried this and it's a really big fucking mistake because this place is a fucking shithole. And we want to get the hell out of here. So it's like a combination of a game and Loosh farm, or for parasites to feed off of, whatever this Loosh energy does. Just exploring the possibilities here, folks. I don't know. I am reading a book by Sandy Gustis now. It's really good so far. Lesson complete. I'll link to everything you see in the description below. There's just some her interview and just some other videos about out-of-body experiences. And the Monroe Institute, and so I like I said, I'm working on. I set up an account with Spreaker.com, and I'm just gonna play around with that for a little while, see how that works out. But something to think about. So, what do you think? Do you think that some of us, that we're all not the same consciousness in human form? See, we're not human anyway. No consciousness is human. This whole thing. I just wanted to say one more thing here. This whole concept of the human form, or the astral body, as some people call it, and in fact, some people described in their first OBE, when they first experience an OBE, that they have like this ghost image of their human form. But if they do it enough, they all seem to report that they lose that. They don't need it anymore. And in fact, that's probably correct. Consciousness is energy, information. It is an individual point of being, and there's a lot of that around. It exists in some kind of field of, I guess, ultimate consciousness, which is sort of like what these individual points use. We're all like apps in a giant operating system. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I don't know, but like if you listen to Graham Nichols, he talks about being just like a sphere or a point. Monroe also eventually lost his human form. He called it like different stages of an astral body, where you are not. He doesn't use the word astral body, but his focuses and whatever else terminology he used. But it's possible that consciousness can assume any form. So when you're in the human form, it sort of the energy of our consciousness sort of adopts that form. But there's clear information from OBEers that you can reincarnate on a different world in this universe, with different life forms. I don't know if that's true, but it's fascinating because you wouldn't be human. So human is just a form that we're plugged into right now. Excuse me. So, sorry about that. So, that's it. I just wanted to make this quick video, give you an update on my channel here, possibly go on the Spreaker. Like I said, any podcasts will be automatically uploaded to my YouTube channel. And I'll let you know when that happens before I do it. So, all right, take care, guys, and girls, and whoever else is out there. Tune in to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.